Hello. Do I look enough like young Ethan Hawke yet? I don't know. I had watched one of my earlier videos. I knew I hadn't talked about everything in that video that I wanted to. I had left out a couple minor points. So this will be more of a footnote than a true chapter, probably. I had read, a capsule wardrobe article around the same time I had seen some similar videos. And so I'd kind of covered most of that I wanted to cover at the time. I wrote kind of a scathing rebuttal that, I thought maybe I should, revisit or read for this. And mostly it seems unnecessary now. I think I covered most of the important points. Um, except maybe to say that it seemed like this person who wrote this article definitely lives in an urban environment and doesn't have any kids, and so that's definitely going to affect their style choices or whatever. Excuse me. Obviously, if you're writing for magazines, you don't have the same job as this or this or this. So one of the other things that I had seen a long time ago was almost totally unrelated, but VH1 used to do these things where they would ask kind of B or C list celebrities questions, and these people would chime in on their kind of personal gripes. And one of them was the pitted out T-shirts where the guy has yellow under the arms from where the sweat has dried, and he's worn it again since. I think that must be an East Coast thing. I don't think I've ever seen that. It stuck with me though. It's like one of the few things I can remember from this program was these women just going, "Don't wear a pitted out shirt. Oh my god, it looks like you peed yourself," basically. Yeah, but again, these are people in the entertainment industry. They don't, work like this guy does, where he actually, only earns so much money and has to. So, yeah, I agree. It looks terrible, but you're not buying him new T-shirts either. So, at what point is too much enough? I don't know. So going above that though, obviously if you work in an office environment, that would never be acceptable ever. You're not, it's not construction, it's not even service. You're up in the next echelon of service and expectation, I guess, that goes along with that. Like I said in the previous video, if you wear the same looking clothes every day, your customers or whoever will question, like, does this guy know how to dress himself? Maybe to an extent. This video, I was going to focus a little bit more on neckwear. Obviously, I mean, there's not a ton to say that hasn't been covered in other channels. Plenty. Obviously, there's neckties and there's bow ties. You're, even if you're the kind of guy who wants to sport an ascot in the on your boat in the summer, that's not really office wear. That's never really been office wear. I found one place that sells them, but it's more of a bib with a Velcro fastener, so it looks cool and it's convenient to put on, but it's not a true ascot. So where you find those that are legitimate, I don't even know. It didn't seem that pressing that I tracked that down. Um, Although I do kind of like the look of it. Again, it's a casual look. It's not an office casual look. So when we revisit, kind of the nautical theme thing, I think that's kind of where you'll see that look. I don't think you'll see it too much anyplace else except old Cary Grant photos or something. Um, I had talked about the undyed natural look. This is again kind of the thing that's not going to translate very well to office casual. You might be able to get away with a garment or two, but an entire look, it's gonna look a little more unprofessional, a little more back to the guy who wears the same exact suit or the same exact color suit every single day. And also, a much more effective summer look because you're having more silk and more linen, less wool. When I was talking about undyed wool at the time, I think it might have actually been the sweater video where I was just talking about Irish cable sweaters, but obviously there are undyed even jeans, um, different fabrics of that kind of thing, and I again, some people wouldn't be able to necessarily differentiate between a beige and a true khaki anyway. Most of the time there's like a stone option, but see, stone is a little too light. Stone definitely looks way casual. You can still wear it in the office, maybe on casual Friday, but I wouldn't suggest, again, a pair of stone trousers for court day. You have that big meeting, wear the navy ones, not the white looking ones, or really super, they're not gray, they're taupe or beige or whatever the correct, but they're still just too light for, you know. And again, with a pant that light, you're risking any barbecue stain, any ketchup stain, any sitting on the bench outside work just to relax for, or on your lunch or whatever, stain all over. Kind of one of the occupational hazards of wanting to look summery. Um, So with that, I kind of wanted to have a note about color combos. I mean, well, either you understand colors or you don't. So it's kind of, how many basic instructional videos are there already? Probably plenty. Again, when you're dealing in silk and linen suits, a lot of times they want to push. I don't know how much linen and silk is always a suit so much as a sport coat. For starters, I think most suits will come in more of a summery wool, so your results may vary. You might be getting a flannel wool suit that's a lighter weight, and then the colors will tend to be a more conservative. Whereas when you get into silk and linens, that's when they kind of like to give you more of the pastels, more colors to play with. Again, you don't have to get the pink one. You don't have to get the coral peach one. You can get silk and linen in grays and in less, flashy colors. Uh, I'm trying to read my own writing here. Oh, just shoes. Yes. Tying into that, I one of the channels, he had talked about how his favorite shoes for swinging into blue and brown instead of just black or brown shoes, he could wear burgundy shoes. They had completely forgotten. I don't know if he meant burgundy or oxblood, or if they're technically the same or not. But everyone has forgotten that there are gray shoes. I actually have some nice gray suede shoes and some of those gray dress sneakers, which is another one of those terms that I absolutely hate. And then also in suede, often you can find not just brown, but also, again, the kind of taupe, which again can work for a summery thing. And if you're already wearing a lighter trouser, then a lighter shoe can get away with. Again, it might be better for casual Friday than for, you know, Tuesday, whatever. The holidays being over, you pretty much should have put away all your holiday stuff already. We're in the we're in the thick of it now. We're halfway through winter, as I already said. So, I've already started to kind of turn toward more green. I can't tell if this is really reading very well, but it's definitely green. So I still have a little bit of brown going, but I'm starting to integrate it more instead of just a brown jacket. Now I can swap in a green jacket. This is just a pretty basic. I wasn't trying for any really sophisticated look. Just wanted it to look a little bit more upscale than the flannel shirt from the previous videos. Again, we're talking about office casual, not casual here. So I'm going with a tie. I'm still with the button collar. I could have a shirt with a pattern if I wanted to. I could have a jacket with a pattern maybe if I wanted to. This one has a herringbone, but it's very subtle, so you can see. that easily enough. I don't have a pocket square. I wasn't trying to get dressed to the nines, just do a 10-minute video. And so yeah, I think that's about all I have for this particular episode. Unless somebody has any questions, you can let me know.